Hello there! I hope you enjoy this video and that you subscribe to the channel. Enjoy watching it. Let's go! Hee-won thinks that a wedding in April is impossible because April is just around the corner. What's more, she resented the fact that Do-jung Kang decides when to have the wedding himself and doesn't ask her opinion on anything at all. But Do-jun replied that if Hee-won didn't want him to interfere, then she wouldn't let the rumor situation get out of hand. Hee-won apologized for taking up his time. Now she doesn't know what she should do because of his anger over it. Do-jun wasn't really angry about it. He asked Hee-won, who is he to her? He asked her to share her problems with him, so he wouldn't find out about Hee-won's problems from his niece. Hee-won decided to explain this by saying that Do-jung is always busy, and she didn't want to distract him from important things. Do-jun didn't like it because it was as if Hee-won was drawing a line between them every time and acting like a stranger to him. He reminded her not to act like she committed some big sin and then stand with her head down in the principal's office. If there's a problem, you have to tell me first. Hee-won replied that she didn't ask Do-jung to come to school, and if he hadn't come, he wouldn't have seen the scene. Do-jun was outraged by this. He couldn't just turn a blind eye to it because it was a concern for his child and the child's mother. Hee-won didn't know what to answer. Do-jun is indeed a very powerful man and also very responsible, but it was only one night, Hee-won said. She also said that Do-jun didn't know who she was at all, wasn't interested in her life, and was only doing her father's duties. Do-jun was silent in response. For Hee-won, none of this is easy at all. It is very hard for her to be with Do-jun, and she is not comfortable. At this point, she cried. Do-jun tried to calm Hee-won down and said that he wasn't angry with her at all. Hee-won started to cry even harder at that moment. Do-jun hugged her. He apologized to her for getting angry and asked her to stop crying. Hee-won was simply offended. She asked why he was comforting her. After all, he doesn't even know how long she tried to hold back her tears. Hee-won keeps crying. Do-jung once again asked her to stop crying and continue talking. She embarrassedly apologized for staining her costume with her tears. He replied that it was nothing and there was no need to worry about it. Hee-won stopped crying. She offered to take the jacket to her house to wash it. He's not sure that's a good idea since that jacket is expensive and can't be washed so easily. But he suggested another option. Do-jung asked Hee-won if she would marry him. She didn't expect such a question. She didn't understand what a suit could have to do with marriage. He replied that costume and marriage are quite related. For Hee-won, it's kind of strange. She thought Do-jun was just teasing her. She asked why he liked teasing her so much. He's just interested in having fun teasing Hee-won. But this is the first time for her to be told this. Do-jun asked to say something to him now. She didn't understand and clarified what exactly needs to be said. The question is still the same. Why doesn't she want to marry Do-jun? Yes, maybe they don't love each other. But after all, things can change after marriage. Hee-won just kept silent with her eyes down. She's actually really scared. She's really worried that it won't work out. Yes, she knows it will be better for their baby Do-jul, but she's not sure it will be better for her and Do-jun. Do-jun asked not to worry and to trust him. He will do his best to make it as easy for her as possible. And he asked her to marry him in April. Do-jun said that there was no need to worry about anything else. He assured her that he would do even more than she thought possible. It's all about getting her to say yes. After that, he kissed her on the forehead. They looked into each other's eyes for some time, but Hee-won closed her eyes a little later. It seemed to him that she wasn't ready to give an answer yet. But Do-jun insists. He said that if she said nothing in the next 3 seconds, he would take her silence as consent. Hee-won is outraged by this, but Do-jung begins the countdown. She asked him to stop. There was a sudden kiss, a romantic setting in the car. A little time passed and Hee-won returned home. She is in shock from today, or rather from what happened in Do-jun's car. She can't believe she agreed to marry him. On reflection, she thought that maybe it's not so bad to marry someone who kisses her every day. But after a few seconds, she started wrinkling her face with her hands and didn't understand how she could even think of such a thing. She decided she'd had enough of thinking about it. Earlier, Do-jun told Hee-won to stop feeling scared, but it's very difficult for her. She thinks that such a marriage has a better chance of failing than succeeding. She hasn't told Do-jun no, and apparently doesn't plan to back down. But there's a but. At this point, suddenly, Min-wook walks into Hee-won's room. He thought she looked terrible and seemed to have something going on. Really, what could have happened to make her look like that? I think everyone already guessed that. She was outraged that he broke into someone else's room. He replied that he called her on the phone, but she didn't answer. After all, Hee-won could have just fallen asleep and not heard the phone ring or been busy at all. He said he found out she left work early. Min-wook thought she was sick. He paid attention to her eyes. He asked if she had been crying. Hee-won replied that she had not cried. She threatened him that she would bite him if he touched her. Haha, that's so cute. Min-wook was a little offended at Hee-won for her acting like that to him. He was just worried about her after all. He told her to go wash her face, and there's a delicious chicken waiting for her in the kitchen. He bought it especially for her. Hee-won, stop soaring. Come on, get back to normal, especially since there's a chicken waiting for you on the table. She asked Min-wook where Mi-ran was. He said that her family meeting had been delayed. She will be here soon. Hee-won was surprised by this because Mi-ran didn't say anything to her about the family reunion. Hee-won almost blabbed about Mi-ran's parents apparently forcing her to go on a date. She started to get out of the situation, but Min-wook heard about the blind date. She asked if he knew about it. He asked to change the subject to something else. Min-wook asked why Hee-won was crying. She replied that she wasn't crying. Then he said that she should do something about her puffy eyes before she lied to him. She offered to talk about him, not her eyes. He wondered what was wrong with him. Hee-won is amazed that Min-wook still lets Mi-ran go on blind dates. He was thoughtfully silent, opened the can of drink, and said he was getting ready. It begs the question, what exactly is he preparing for? He replied that he was preparing to stand confidently in front of Mi-ran's father. Now, Hee-won made it clear. He asked her how prepared he had to be a good son-in-law. Hee-won replied that he was already good enough. He liked Hee-won's answer and said that she was a pretty good judge of character. It's amazing that Min-wook has already started to think about such things. Before, Hee-won would have been hurt about this kind of talk. Apparently, it's because she has Do-jun now, and it doesn't hurt her as much to hear such things now. Min-wook decided to ask Hee-won again. So why was she crying? She remarked that Min-wook was too stubborn. She said she was getting married in April. Min-wook almost choked on his drink when he heard that Hee-won was getting married in April. It shocked him beyond belief. Min-wook really startled Hee-won with his reaction. He asked back and forth about who exactly she was getting married to. Is it Do-jun or someone else? He was glad to hear that it was Do-jun. He also said that since the wedding is next April, she will have time to recover from childbirth. But she meant that the wedding is next month in April. Min-wook is shocked. He thought Hee-won was crazy because there was too little time left. She replied that it just so happened. Min-wook didn't understand why it happened that way. After all, marriage is no joke. He doesn't understand how they can get married in a few days. And who decided that? Min-wook assumed that it was the child's father's decision. But Hee-won replied that it wasn't his fault. It's just such a situation. Min-wook wondered what kind of situation it was that she decided to get married as if she was going to dinner with someone. Hee-won didn't know what to answer him. At that moment, Mi-ran came back and asked what they were doing here. Hee-won began to say that they weren't doing anything. And Min-wook suggested that Mi-ran sit down and hear some very important information. Mi-ran said that she needed to change first and let them continue to chat. Hee-won guesses that Min-wook and Mi-ran need to talk in private. So she will go to her room. Min-wook warns Hee-won not to think that she has managed to avoid the conversation. Hee-won replied to Min-wook to mind his own business, and she would mind her own business. Hee-won told Mi-ran that she is getting married in April and added that she wants her to catch her bridal bouquet. Mi-ran is discouraged by the information about Hee-won's wedding. Mi-ran doesn't understand why Hee-won is telling her about the wedding so suddenly. She replied that she would explain it later and warned that if she and Min-wook are going to fight, do it quietly. Hee-won left the room and closed the door behind her. She exhaled deeply. Hee-won concluded that it was time to say goodbye to her unrequited love. And it is also time to say goodbye to the desire for mutual love and to the envy of her friend, who just happened to get that love. And as a woman who is about to marry, she must say goodbye to these feelings. She sat down on the edge of the bed, and afterwards she fell onto the bed, thinking about many things. Day by day, she begins to forget about Minwook, and she seems close to forgetting for good. And now, Hee-won wants to sleep. The next day at school, the bell rang to signal the end of class. Si-hong and Ra-nee walk down the school corridor. Ra-nee looks depressed. Si-hong asked Ra-nee to stop and start behaving normally. She said, "Okay, I'll stop." Things got better at school. That afternoon, the school principal made an announcement and asked the students to stop spreading rumors. It seems that Ra-nee was called to the principal's office and given a warning. Si-hong doesn't know what happened to the teacher practitioner, but Miss Jang came the next day and continued to teach her class as if nothing had happened. Everything seemed to fall into place, but except for the friendship between Chae-hong and Ra-nee. It is not clear to Si-hong why Ra-nee is behaving this way, since they did not even quarrel. Ra-nee said that she felt guilty. Si-hong thinks that everything is her fault, but for some reason Ra-nee blames herself. She also added that nothing could be done about Ra-nee being such a chatterbox. Ra-nee responded by calling Si-hong a creeper. Ra-nee grabbed Si-hong's hand and told her that she would be with her. Si-hong didn't understand where Ra-nee was dragging her. She replied that they were going to the soccer field, all because something happened on the soccer field between Da-woo and the teacher practitioner. Si-hong was shocked by what she heard.